A team exploring Oak Island discovers a dense wooden bone, hinting at a deeper mystery related to human remains buried within the muddy swamp. This discovery raises questions about past secrets kept within the island, leading the team to uncover more clues suggesting an unfinished story involving potentially tragic events. The team finds an unusual, empty vault and evidence of human activity in the swamp. Iron spikes, chisels, and worn leather boots, signaling that someone had been there before. They connect these discoveries to grave sites from the mid-19th century, proposing the intriguing idea that the original discoverer, Anthony Graves, might have stumbled upon a hidden vault containing valuables, but chose to remain silent about it. As excitement builds within the team regarding the potential for more vaults, they begin to trace a mysterious, rocky path that seems to weave through the swamp, unveiling hidden markings and signs of human intervention. With every dig, they hope to uncover more of this buried past, but each step through the muck reveals the complexities of history buried beneath the land. Amidst the discoveries, new evidence emerges, a human skull fragment, signaling an elaborate history filled with secrets and conflicts rather than mere treasure hunting. Uniquely, the remains imply connections between cultures thousands of miles apart, bringing forth theories of everything from Templar pursuits to potential ancient rituals. As the team evaluates their finds, they recognize the possibility that Oak Island was once a meeting ground for diverse cultures. The presence of both European and Middle Eastern skeletal remains prompts questions about the island's role in historical travels, potentially revealing motives far removed from just treasure, but perhaps linked to ancient knowledge or conflicts that needed to remain hidden. The array of artifacts and features uncovered challenges previously held timelines and historical beliefs. Unearthing leather boots and other remains suggests a deeper narrative, one of intentions and purposes that stretch into an unknown past, leading to a compelling puzzle where every find builds upon the mystery of what was once hidden. Further excavation connects historic figures and possible failed expeditions to the island, filling researchers' heads with more questions about the motivations that could lead individuals to risk everything for what the swamp might hold. The growing tensions around treasure discussions shift to human stories, ravaged by death and silence surrounding those who dared to seek secrets. Every piece of found history conveys a message, shining light on the efforts taken to protect profound truths about power dynamics and potential upheaval within recent societies. The artifacts array, from bone fragments to tools encrusted in the mud, continues to pile up evidence that suggests clandestine undertakings, esoteric knowledge, and the improbability of these discoveries being mere happenstance. The narrative deepens, focusing on the human aspect of the exploration. Ancient strategies hide stories that include disgrace, struggles for power, and possibly heinous acts resulting in the last efforts to safeguard forgotten knowledge. Each discovery reiterates that the team is not merely following a breadcrumb trail of treasure, but engaging in a quest interwoven with shadows of a fractured past. Amidst twists and turns of every dig, evidence underscores the island's historical significance, leading the team to question whether they are truly merely treasure seekers or if they have manifested into historians, compelled to uncover and face the repercussions of these buried stories. As the team processes their findings, they contemplate the potential tales waiting to unveil further down, hinting at a corporeal existence where treasures sit alongside forgotten tragedies, linked by the fateful ties of individuals from disparate times who left behind testimony etched into the landscape. Underneath the burden of growing responsibility, treasure hunting transforms. They realize the swamp may be the complete custodian of lives once intertwined in pursuits for desirable goods, yet secretly preserved under layers of matter and decay. The raw human connection surfaces through rigorous digging, and what emerges is more profound than gold. It becomes a chronicle laden with sorrow, intrigue, and too often, loss. While sometimes undervalued, the mysteries surrounding Oak Island take on a new life. Instead of excitement about coins, the team's focus shifts to ensuring stories left behind do not grow dim, giving rise to a more comprehensive understanding and awareness surrounding Oak Island's historical context. They possess insight into a world where individuals have fought fiercely for protection over buried treasures that serve as poignant reminders of the sacrifices made long ago. As dark secrets bubble to the surface again, drawing the line between discovery and disturbing the past remains tenuous. Every rusted relic and bone surface increasingly draws them in deeper to unveil layers never considered. unearthing a mystery that thrives on contradiction. Each finding leads to insights about buried motives that have waited long enough, showcasing things that remained hidden throughout years of searching. This narrative hints that individuals who attempted to control hidden knowledge paid a substantial price, intimating they faced brutal fates, participates in ancient rites, or paid for their past in ways unimagined. The compelling complexities showcase that Oak Island encapsulates far more than treasure. It embodies a timeless pursuit containing secrets not just for those brave enough to search, but ultimately holding warnings for those who dare pry into ghostly commitment. Every inch traveled becomes emblematic, linking the present day to endeavors that once cast shadows along your search's path. As the realization crescendos among the members with each discovery, the element of understanding solidifies among the group, drawing a haunting attachment towards the weight such bones bear. A reminder entwined in tender nostalgia for lives lost pursuing something significant, albeit in vain. The Oak Island team's encounter with unexpected human remains catapults their focus from pure treasure-hunting centrality into grappling with the unsolved connections that guide their realizations. Since the beginning of their expedition, the island has posed questions intertwining exploration with confrontation, urging them to pursue past gems buried in the muck, leading them to examine their motivations, uncertainties, and feelings regarding their responsibility towards the complex histories hidden within. In a way, something bigger than any individual piece is formed, creating collective curiosity entwined with authentic spirits, tales transcending dependent on skeletal remains and objects of the past, echoing under the weight of unresolved consequences left behind. With each new artifact builds interest, not solely for its age or perceived value, but as a way of honoring forgotten paths of those lost eternally connected within tales of blood-soaked earth unmarred by lucrative aspirations. The mystery of Oak Island has long enthralled treasure hunters, especially the Lagena brothers, Rick and Marty, whose adventure began with a 1965 Reader's Digest article. Their quest, documented by the History Channel in The Curse of Oak Island, is marked by the discovery of various artifacts, including a lead cross linked to the Knights Templar, indicating a complex history on the island. As they mine the infamous Money Pit, their journey is rife with danger and uncertainty. It resembles a real-life Bermuda Triangle, where even advanced technologies like ground-penetrating radar cannot guarantee success. With every deeper excavation, not only does the ground become unstable, but the significant emotional toll on Rick becomes increasingly apparent. He grapples with cycles of optimism and despair, reflecting the profound psychological strain of a pursuit that tests personal relationships and well-being. These themes are emphasized in Season 12, which demonstrates how the experiences of searching for treasure are intertwined with profound emotional issues. The fact that Rick has invested his own resources and relationships into their expedition gives it more weight, particularly in light of the terrifying tale that states 7 lives must be lost before any wealth can be discovered. The tragic history of the island has already cost the lives of 6 people, which is a tragic turn of events. The most recent discoveries have provided hints of more sinister storylines, implying that historical rites were interwoven with the possibility of human sacrifice. Following the discovery of artifacts that provide evidence of ancient rituals, the brothers are forced to reevaluate the reasons that led them to investigate the possibility of treasure. Every new discovery, whether it be Spanish money or hypothetical buildings resembling vaults, adds another layer of intrigue to the mystery, making it difficult to differentiate between the pursuit of treasure and the comprehension of a historical tragedy. Rick and Marty continue to be resolute in their pursuit of knowledge while being caught in the complicated legacy of the island. The harsh environment of the island, on the other hand, persistently undermines their goals and objectives, resulting in a conflict that is both emotional and physical. As they continue to delve deeper into the marsh and come across structures that are connected to enigmatic rituals, their journey starts to change into a quest to learn the darker realities that the island has to offer. The spectator is left wondering whether they will find riches or face consequences that they did not anticipate as a result of the suspense that their quest continues to generate.
Pipes, mind-blowing. Let's discuss the pottery object discovered by Laird on the island. Laird believes it dates from the first half of the 18th century, but who knows? It could, after all, be a conduit. What is it? Though it does not appear to be a conventional straight pipe. Not every conduit needs to be straight. This component may be included in a conduit system with a radius of 12 to 14 inches. What is this then? Similar to the redware discovered on Oak Island, this object was crafted from clay. It could be a piece of the puzzle. Let us introduce you to the Romans once more. They were skilled at installing pipelines. Instead of using a single large conduit, they created these intricate pipelines comprised of numerous smaller pipes. It enabled them to regulate water flow and pressure adequately. A unique archaeological image of a Roman pipe reveals the sophistication and complexity of their systems. What is the future? Oak Island may have had a comparable system. You are in store for one more astounding realization. Are you still familiar with the Great Quadrilateral? Recently, essentials have begun to appear in unexpected places. Additionally, they were discovered at the Israeli castle of Belvoir. Are you serious? These nails, found throughout Notre Dame, date to the 1160s and were used to secure stones together during construction. Discuss prehistoric engineering techniques. Then, what does this signify for Oak Island? Well, it's all speculation. We are merely investigating the options for fun. But here's a wild idea. What if these materials discovered on Oak Island were used in an architectural marvel? They may have been part of an intricate structure that required precise stone binding. What is the future? Everything fits into the Oak Island arrangement. Let's mention the stone wall they discovered before we conclude. Even though it is not a wall in the traditional sense, it resembles a circle of pebbles in that it is filled with trash. What is this then? Underneath it, charcoal was discovered. There is still a great deal of data to locate and integrate. Subscribing to the channel will provide you with access to more blues from the world of mysteries. As we conclude our investigation of Oak Island's secrets, it is important to note that all hypotheses remain speculative. However, the investigation of potential connections between historic hydraulic systems, Roman engineering, and ancient furnaces adds an exciting dimension of intrigue. As the mission continues, more and more Oak Island mysteries are revealed. We will meet you there in a minute if you click on the video links that appear to find out what discoveries by explorers astonished the entire globe. Scientists have just announced a startling new discovery that solves the Oak Island enigma. What lies beneath the island's surface is so enigmatic that you will not believe it. What numerous other treasure hunters have been unable to accomplish, a team of researchers equipped with the most advanced technology has finally accomplished. They have found the answer to the Oak Island enigma, and the response is, simply stated, nobody saw that coming as scientists just announced the solution to the Oak Island mystery. Using ground-penetrating radar, the team was able to successfully create a detailed map of the island's subterranean terrain. They discovered a labyrinthine system of tunnels and chambers, the likes of which had never been seen before, and which was substantially larger than anyone had anticipated. After analyzing the data, they made the most surprising discovery. The scientists determined that the tunnels and chambers did not form by accident. Instead, they arranged themselves in a precise geometric pattern that was a perfect match for the ancient symbols discovered in the writings of the Templar Order. Oak Island's mystery has been associated with the medieval Christian military order known as the Knights Templar for a very long time. Some individuals are under the impression that they concealed their legendary wealth on the island, and it appears that the researchers have finally solved this mystery's code. Nonetheless, the story does not end there. An additional significant discovery was made by the researchers, something with the potential to utterly transform our understanding of Oak Island and its history. Within one of the compartments, they discovered artifacts buried to a considerable depth. Not gold or gems, but ancient writings that have been meticulously preserved in airtight containers. The texts are composed in a language that has not yet been identified as the original language, a language with the potential to cast light on the mystery surrounding the Oak Island tunnels and their purpose. Currently, the researchers are working diligently to decipher the inscriptions. They are confident in their ability to uncover Oak Island's true story, a story that has been kept under wraps for centuries. Since the 18th century, treasure hunters have been concentrating their efforts on a small, forested island off the coast of Nova Scotia in Canada. The island is renowned throughout the world for its money pit, which is an enigmatic hole in the ground that is rumored to conceal incalculable wealth. Gold from pirate ships, jewels believed to have been lost by Marie Antoinette, and even the Holy Grail have all been mentioned as potential treasures that could be concealed within its depths. Over the past 2.5 centuries, explorers from all corners of the globe have endeavored to decipher the code. They have dug, drilled, and even used explosives to gain access to the island's interior in an attempt to uncover its buried mysteries. However, despite all of their efforts, the island has managed to keep its wealth a closely guarded secret up until this point. The coin of the Templars that was discovered on Oak Island is another intriguing artifact. This development has surprised numerous specialists. Is it feasible that this information will shed light on the mysteries surrounding the illustrious Templars and the riches they concealed? If there is a treasure to be discovered on the island, it could be worth a substantial amount of money. However, locating it would also provide us with a great deal of information about the Templars' genuine influence. The possibility of unearthing something of such crucial importance has piqued the interest of numerous treasure hunters and historians located in various parts of the globe. However, even the most knowledgeable individuals are still baffled by the mystery of Oak Island. What other peculiar clues and hidden treasures could be lurking somewhere in this area? Each new discovery we make on the island provides us with additional hints that have the potential to alter how we interpret the past. Could it be possible to unearth the long-buried secrets of the Templars and learn what they interred on Oak Island? As more information about Oak Island's history becomes available, the mystery surrounding the island continues to grow, leaving us inquisitive about the unsolved mysteries that may be concealed beneath its surface. The recent discovery of a medieval crossbow bolt on Oak Island has spurred speculation that the Knights Templar may be involved. This enigmatic society was active during the time of the Crusades. It was renowned for its mysterious...
The Oak Island team is on a treasure hunt in the garden shaft, where they have found gold inside an old wooden ladder deep underground. The area is filled with clues, including trees, water, walls, roads, and wood that look like they came from the 1500s. A crack broke open at 90 feet, and what emerged was not dirt but golden water, golden trees, and a tunnel below. The crew was armed with fancy machines and years of frustration, but they were determined to find something substantial. They began with the water, which was liquid laced with tiny hints of gold. They called the new hotspot the Baby Blob, a patch of dirt no bigger than a tool shed, and it had the right numbers. The gold traces led them to the core samples, which pointed to the core. The team found a ladder hidden in a tunnel, and they decided to put it in their XRF because they had detected high gold values in the area. One day, the garden shaft became their playground or battleground. They dragged rigs into place, lowered steel into the earth, and waited for something to crack at 90 feet. A grinding howl came up from the dirt, and they hit a hole where no space should be. The crew froze, but they found 3 different boreholes all in a straight line east to west. The old shaft was not alone, as the crew found more wood in the same texture and color. They circled the sample like vultures around the discovery. A fresh discovery was made, and the team was looking at a clue carved by someone long dead back at the lab. The team dried out the wood and fired up the machine again, and Emma blinked at the readings. The team hit a wall of silence, and they set up a new drill to probing the walls like a dentist with a new patient. The water showed gold, and the team tested the inside of the shaft to see if it was buried in the same golden breath that hung over the Baby Blob. The team is drilling for gold on Oak Island, a small island in the Bahamas. They are searching for a hidden treasure that they believe has been hiding there for years. The drilling hits a void at 90 feet, and the space widens as the pressure drops. The team runs tests and tests, finding more gold every step. This is not just a hunt, but a confession of the island's hidden secrets. The team is focused on finding the buried message rather than just digging up trash. They drill deeper and wider, aiming for something that doesn't want to be found. The probe inside the garden shaft finds more space and air, and it pressed into the wall and returned with splinters. The team tags each one with a splinter, and another round of tests yields gold. As the sun sets, the team gathers samples of soil, wood, and dust, and the air in the tent is thick with tension. Emma scans the latest sample, and when things feel weird, the island emits louder signs of treasure all over the island. Rick Lagena, buzzing like a kid on a sugar high, bolts out of the tent with bags of dirt, chunks of timber, and determination. He must show the findings to Emma, the only person who can tell them if they have found gold or just another dusty piece of nonsense. Peter Romke, a man who chops trees for a living but also builds rock walls for fun, stands on lot 26 staring down a messy pile of stones, believing it is a proper structure. The team is determined to find the treasure and uncover the truth about their past. The text describes a mysterious wall and well in a Scottish island, which was built with care to hide something or protect it. The wall was not just random, but rather a medieval-looking structure with tiny rocks at the base. The well was also unusually ancient, dating back to the 11th century. Experts had told them that people were building wells like this back in the 11th century, and it is believed that the same kind of well is present at New Ross, a spot some believe was a Templar hideout. The wall could have been built using rubble from tunnel digging, as hiding something underground would require masking the mess. Charles and Brandon were drilling in the money pit when they encountered an 11-foot rock that could be a door to the past. Emma Culligan, the gold detector, found a solid chunk in the middle of the shaft, suggesting that someone used gold-lined wood when building the shaft. This led to more tests, speculation, and theories about the depth of the treasure. The team was planning to dig deeper into the well, hoping the trail wouldn't go cold. They were also heating up their war room across the island, where Tom Nolan opened his dad's old notebook, which contained a hidden well. The well was intentionally hidden, buried, covered up, and Rick and Alex wasted no time digging on the lot. The story highlights the importance of careful planning and investigation in uncovering hidden treasures and mysteries. The story revolves around a team of people who are digging a hidden underground well in a swampy area. They discover a hidden well with a rosehead spike, an old-school artifact, and a hook, which they believe is part of a larger machine. The well starts to resemble the one on Lot 26, with the same structure and stacked stones. The island is not just dropping hints, but also shouting two wells at opposite ends of the island, with craftsmanship, secrecy, and buried intentions. The swamp looms nearby, reminding them that every dig comes with risk, including ecological and political ones. In the official nerve center, the interpretive center, Emma Culligan works her magic by scanning wood from the garden shaft, finding gold. The deeper they go, the more gold shows up, and the deeper they dig, the clearer it seems that someone was there before a tunnel, shaft, and road to the 1500s. Craig Tester, running the show picture, is with the Duma drilling team, currently at 68 feet down and going for 80. Their goal is to waterproof the levels while they get clean samples and try to hit a jackpot. They find gold in the wood, a tunnel, and gold traces from the treasure zone nearby. The garden shaft becomes the center of something, and Paul Coate from the drilling team has a system of 12 holes strategically placed around the shaft. The goal is not just to find treasure, but to prove the setup is part of a larger machine, and the only way to learn is to pull the ropes. Tom Nolan's father, Tom Nolan, believes something was going on Oak Island, a forgotten stretch of dirt. As they dig in Lot 13, they find strange burn sticks, weird clay, and charred bits that look like someone set up a barbecue centuries ago. They think this stuff is out of place and that someone brought it or hid something under it. The team finds the same design in Portugal, which is nearly identical, built with the same stone-laying technique known to have been used by the Portuguese during the 1400s and 1500s. This little coincidence, not so much anymore. Theories start stacking up: burned wood, odd-shaped formations, gold, traced stone roads, strange clay, all pointing to something buried not just in the ground, but in history. Rick thinks it's not just a structure, but a hand-built secret burial-type vault, covered in blue clay to keep water out and buried under boulders like a medieval safe. Dr. Ian Spooner steps in to test these theories, and when he pulls up clay fused to charred wood, it pauses. That's not natural. It's someone hiding something. The soil is too thick, rich, and tampered for this area. It's not just a spot, it's a scene, a piece of land manipulated to hide, protect, and seal something in. The team calls up researchers across Europe, particularly one from the Azores named Francisco Nguira. He has files, ideas, and deep knowledge about Portuguese maritime history, dropping a bombshell that rewrites maps the Order of Christ, aka the rebranded Portuguese. Knights Templar was active in the Azores, and possibly stashed valuables during the chaos of the 1500s. The next day, the team heads back to Lot 13 with fresh drills and dirty fingernails, pulling up more of that blue clay and charred wood. The big surprise is a stone wall so neatly and oddly built it looks intentional, dating sometime between 1464 and 1638. This type of wall would normally divide farmland, but farmland doesn't explain blue clay or burned wood. Rick thinks it's infrastructure, not fields, but features not for crops or protection. They pull out more maps, names, dates, and dates from the Inquisition, religious groups, wealth seizure, and anyone with a stash of gold. They're whispering the same thing. Something was buried here. It wasn't an accident, it was designed, and it might just be waiting. They're not done yet, but they've got more samples to analyze, more ground to dig, and more experts to call.